Hi students, today we are discussing about concept of calorimetry in the short term classes. Okay, so before going to the calorimetry, I need some definitions. The first one is molar specific heat. It is denoted by C or S. What is molar specific heat? The amount of heat energy required by unit mass of substance to rise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. What is molar specific heat? The amount of heat energy required by unit mass of substance to rise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Specific heat S is equal to delta Q by M delta T. Delta theta I may use or delta T may use. Okay, delta Q heat energy per unit mass per unit temperature difference. So what are the units for it? So in CCS the units are units of heat calorie, units of mass gram, so gram inverse because it is in the denominator na, temperature degree Celsius inverse. And what are the SI units for it? SI units are heat SI units joule, mass kg inverse, temperature difference is Kelvin inverse. Okay. So what is relation between those two units? We know 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules na, and 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams na. Substitute those values, then we got 1 calorie gram inverse degree Celsius is equal to 4200 joule kg inverse Kelvin inverse. Understand now? So this is the relation we are using in the numericals. 1 calorie gram inverse degree Celsius inverse value is how much? Nearly, it's not exact, nearly 4200 because calorie values sometimes they said 4.186 joules. In some books they said 4 point, didn't have any exact value. That's why the value is also nearer to the 4200. Okay. From this relation, for calorimetry, I need delta Q. Delta Q formula MS delta T. Okay. Please keep in mind the specific heat is independent on mass. It depends only on the nature of the material. Specific, the word indicates na, specific means particular. So for particular material, specific heat always remains constant. For example, the specific heat of copper, its value is nearly 0.1 calorie gram inverse degree Celsius inverse. Okay, copper has a particular specific heat indicates if I made a copper like this cylinder, or if I made the copper in form of a bottle, if I take one copper wire or copper calorimeter, whatever you take, if it is made up with the copper, it always a constant value. So it depends on the nature of the material. Okay, keep in mind. And Here, the specific heat is also depending on the temperature difference. This is also very important word. Specific heat depends on, one is nature of the material and second one is temperature difference. Okay, and two values you must remember. The specific heat of ice value 0.5 calorie gram inverse degree Celsius inverse. Sir, in question everything given in the SI units, sir. No issue. 1 calorie value, 1 calorie gram inverse degree Celsius value 4200 na, substitute here. Then its value nearly equal to 0.5 means 1 by 2 na, 1 by 2 means divided with the 2. 2100 joule kg inverse Kelvin inverse. Okay, and specific heat of water. Specific heat of water is 1. So 1 calorie gram inverse degree Celsius inverse means in SI units this value is 4200 joule kg inverse Kelvin inverse. Okay, this is about the molar specific heat. It depends only on nature of material and temperature difference, independent on the mass. For a particular body, it has always a constant value. Okay, this is specific heat. Now we are discussing about heat capacity denoted with the H. Heat capacity means the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of any material by 1 degree Celsius. What he said? The amount of heat required to rise temperature of substance by 1 degree Celsius. Clear now? The formula for H is delta Q by delta T. Now all we got the formula for S. S is equal to 1 by M into delta Q by delta T now. So instead of delta Q by delta T, can you write MS? So what is the formula for the heat capacity? M into S. Okay, so heat capacity depends on mass and also depending on the specific heat. Specific heat depends on nature of material na. So H is depend on mass of the material and nature of the material. Sometimes the question consisting of instead of mass they given the density or the volume. So we know the formula for density. The density formula is mass by volume na. From this, what is the formula for mass? Density into volume or not? So, can I write instead of M, rho, V, S? So, this is the formula for the heat capacity. For suppose in the given question they said the volume of the sphere. The formula for the volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cube na. So, given the radius of the material of the sphere, then instead of V, you should write the R cube. Okay, so the formula for H is ms or rho vs. It depends on mass and specific heat. Clear now? Next. Water equivalent of a substance. Water equivalent of a substance. It is defined as heat capacity of a substance by specific heat capacity of water. This is substance, but this is water because we said about the water equivalent now. So use the water. We know the value of the specific heat of water in Celsius units. In Celsius units, specific heat of water value how much? 1 na? 1 calorie gram inverse degree Celsius na? So if substitute the value here, then denominator becomes equal to 1 na? If it is 1, we can clearly say the heat capacity of substance, the units of heat capacity, what is units? Mass into specific heat multiplied with the mass. Mass means gram, gram cancel, means calorie degree Celsius inverse is equal to water equivalent. Okay, so calorie degree Celsius inverse by calorie gram inverse degree Celsius inverse means calorie cancel, degree Celsius inverse degree Celsius cancel, then 1 by g nothing but water equivalent of substance units are grams. So sometimes they say 10 grams of water. Okay, 10 grams of water equivalent of substance, they said always in units in grams only. Keep in mind, this is in grams, this is in calorie degree Celsius inverse, this is calorie gram inverse degree Celsius inverse. In physics without units it is very difficult to get the marks. Okay, so please keep the units. Clear? Next, latent heat. It is defined as the amount of heat absorbed or given out by unit mass of substance during change in state is called latent heat. Okay, what is latent heat? The amount of heat absorbed or given out by the unit mass of substance during change of state. State is changes. State is nothing but another word we are using, phase change. Okay, so whenever the system will be changes from one phase to the another phase, then only the word of latent heat coming. Sometimes heat may be absorbed, sometimes heat may be liberated. So at that particular temperature, it may be absorb the heat or liberate the heat. At that particular value only, we are using the word called latent heat. The formula for the latent heat is Q by M. The CGS units are calorie, heat, gram inverse. SI units are joule, kg inverse. Okay, and the relation between 1 calorie gram inverse is equal to 4200 joule kg inverse. So at a particular temperature, if suppose the substance I taken as ice is melts into water, then one word we are using, latent heat of fusion of ice. I am using a symbol called L ice. Okay, for understanding purpose I am using the word called L ice. Generally LF is shown. F indicates fusion. This value 80 calorie per gram. If they given in SI units, na, just multiplied with the 4200. Next, latent heat of vaporization of water. I am using the word called L steam. Generally they use the LV for latent heat of vaporization, LF latent heat of fusion. Okay, convenient way is L steam. Its value is 540 calorie per gram. Okay, so try to understand those values. To convert the ice into water or water into ice, it just required 80 calorie per gram. But to convert the water into steam or steam into water, it required 540 calorie per gram. Indicates the latent heat of steam. So convert the water into the vapor or vapor into the water, it requires more amount of heat. That's why the steam at 100 degrees Celsius is most dangerous than water at 100 degrees Celsius. So in order to convert the water into the steam, it takes more amount of heat. That's why the say at same temperature, steam is more dangerous than the water. Okay, this is about the latent heat. Clear? So until now we are discussing about amount of heat required, delta Q is equal to ms delta T. Okay, for temperature difference, anywhere the given question consisting of temperature difference, please use the formula delta Q is equal to ms delta T. Okay, here there is no change in phase, only temperature difference only occurs, state of the substance remains same, use the formula ms delta T. Next, delta Q is equal to ml. Now only discuss. So it is used whenever phase change occurs. Calorimetry content is very easy, but the problem is where you use the formulas is important. Okay, keep in mind ms delta T when you use, if they said about the temperature difference and there is no change in phase. Clear here. I have certain amount of water which is at 20 degrees Celsius heated. Now the temperature rises to 40 degrees Celsius. How much of amount of heat you supply? Here at 20 degrees Celsius state is water na. At 40 degrees Celsius state is water na. Is state changes? No. Whenever there is no change in the state, use the formula ms delta T. Here what happens? Temperature only changes now. So for temperature differences, use the formula of ms delta T. Okay. Now I take certain amount of ice cubes in my hand. In my hand I take some ice cubes. If I take the ice cubes, after certain time ice is converted into water na. Means here phase changes or not? Phase changes. So at the time of phase change, how much of amount of heat absorbed by the ice? Formula is ml. Formula is ml. State changes or phase changes, use the formula of ml. Same state, only temperature difference is there, use the formula of ms delta T. Understand? Now we know certain concepts. I take the substance generally available in the three states: solid, or in liquid, or in gaseous state. Solid may converts into liquid, or liquid may converts into a gas, or solid may convert into the gas directly without this state. Okay. Similarly, gas is converted into the liquid. Liquid may convert into the solid. Sorry, this is a 4 and this is 5. And gas may directly convert into the solid. We are learning about all these concepts. The phase from solid to liquid is called as melting. Solid to liquid called as melting. Gas, liquid to gas, liquid to gas, boiling. Solid to gas, solid to gas, it is called as sublimation. The process is named as sublimation. Gas to liquid, condensation. Liquid to solid, freezing. Gas to directly convert into the solid, it is called as hoarfrost or deposition. So in numericals, they said about the freezing. Freezing, what is the meaning of freezing? Liquid is converted into the solid. Okay, they said solid to the gas, nothing but sublimation given. Solid to the gas. Understand? So I take some liquid and it is converted to the gas by the word called boiling. The water is boiled. Okay? So keep all these points in your brain. Next thing, if you draw a graph between the amount of heat supplied and temperature. Okay, initially I considered some substance which is in the negative temperature. For example, I take some ice here. I said minus 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so I separate certain amount of heat to this ice. Ice is in the solid form. Okay, whenever you are supplying the heat, its temperature gradually increases. So it becomes minus 10, minus 5, minus 2, minus 1. Until that, the temperature is rises and reaching one point called 0 degrees Celsius. We know at 0 degrees Celsius, ice starts to melt. So until this, we have only ice now. At this place, what happens? The amount of heat you supply does not increase the temperature, but it will be changes its state. It changes its state. So at this particular temperature, 0 degree Celsius, ice is converted into the water. Okay. So at this point, it has a mixture of ice and water is there. Entire ice is converted into the water. Then even you increase the heat, temperature again rises as 1, 2, 3, 4 until that 100 degrees Celsius. Again we know 100 degrees Celsius is nothing but the boiling point of water now. So at this place the water again converted to form of steam. So here it is a mixture of water and steam. After entire water is converted into the steam, then again it will be rises. So it has only steam here. For doing the numericals related to the calorimetry, this diagram was very important. So minus 20 to 0 degree, it has only in the form of ice. Only ice means no change in state here now. No change in state means from negative to 0 if they given in the question, then use the formula of ms delta T. Here S says specific heat of ice you may use. Clear? Because it is entirely ice. Next, at this particular temperature, ice is converted into the water. State changes. Whenever state changes, whenever the phase changes, you are using the formula of ml. After that, from 0 to 100, it has only one nature called water. So again you are using ms delta T. After that, here we have a mixture called steam and water at particular temperature called 100 degrees Celsius. So here again phases changes now, water to steam. Use the formula of ml. So here ms delta t, here ms delta t. At this place ml fusion, at this place ml vaporization. Clear? So all these fundamentals are required before we learn about the calorimetry. Clear? Now coming to the topic called principle of calorimetry. Calorimetry is a word came from the Greek. Calorie means heat and metry indicates measurement. So calorimetry is nothing but the branch of physics which deals with measurement of heat. Okay. The principle of calorimetry was very simple. If you take two bodies, one body is at higher temperature, for example 60 degrees Celsius. Another body is at lower temperature, for suppose 20 degrees Celsius. It is one substance, this is another substance. Okay, one is at higher temperature, another one is at lower temperature. If both are in thermal contact with each other, then what happens? Heat is always flows from higher temperature to the lower temperature. So its temperature value is gradually decreases. This temperature is gradually increases until both are in thermal equilibrium. So after reaching the thermal equilibrium, there is no further heat transfers from the higher temperature body to the lower temperature body. So what is the principle of calorimetry? Here hot body loses temperature and cold body gains the temperature, means heat lost by hot body is equal to heat gained by cold body. So until thermal equilibrium it reaches, heat is continuously lost by hot body and heat is continuously gained by the cold body. So at the explanation of calorimetry, keep in mind the effect of surroundings is negligible. Okay, this word is very important in calorimetry. And second, just observe, it is 60 degree and this is 20 degree now. So the hot body loses heat and cold body gains the heat, and they get in thermal equilibrium at temperature, for example at 35 degrees Celsius. I just imagine, but generally 60 plus 20 by 2 means 40. Okay, let us take just 40 degrees Celsius. So what happens here? This is higher temperature now. This is lower temperature now. This is temperature of mixture now. So hot body, if you indicate the temperature difference is how much? 60 to 40 it reaches. So 60 minus 40 you may make. The temperature difference in hot body TH minus TM. And temperature gained by the cold body. Initially it is 20, now it is at 40. So you just made Tm minus Tl. Okay, this is the temperature difference for cold body. Please understand, the change in temperature must be positive for calorimetry. No negative word coming in the temperature difference. Temperature difference must be positive. For example, I say minus 20. It will be reaches to 0 degrees Celsius. So minus 20 minus 0, you got minus 20. In calorimetry it is wrong. 0 minus of minus 20, that is equal to plus 20. That is correct in this calorimetry because the temperature difference must be positive. And another important word I would like to say you is shortcut. Keep in mind HML. H means hot body, M is mixture, L is cold body. So if you want to measure the temperature difference, made H minus M. Understand now? And if you want to make the temperature difference for cold body, M minus M. HML, HML, H minus M or M minus M. This shortcut is useful for doing numericals related to the calorimetry. Okay, so what is the principle of calorimetry? The heat lost by the hot body is equal to the heat gained by the cold body until they attain the thermal equilibrium, and the effect of surroundings here negligible. Temperature difference should be positive, and shortcut formula for measuring the temperature difference is H minus M minus M. Okay, finally, the temperature of hot body is always more when compared with the temperature of the cold body, and the temperature of mixture is always lies between those two answers only. So in the question, the one body has 20 degrees Celsius, another body has 20 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Celsius. Your answer must be lies in between 60 and 20 only. So in options, if they give more than 60, remove it. Less than 20, remove it. So sir, if they given 60, may be equal. Okay. So temperature of hot body is always greater than or equal to temperature of mixture, greater than or equal to temperature of cold body. This is about calorimetry. Concepts are very simple, but problems are tricky. For understanding problems only, we are until now discuss about the basics concepts related to the calorimetry. By using this, we are doing some numericals now. Okay.